What's up, everybody? It's Fat Door Podcast. I'm here with you, Andy Gunnan, and co-host, always here, Midget Mafia, OG, Jody Seatat. We're here. It's Christmas.
What's up?
What's up, brother? We didn't do a show last week. If you're paying attention and counting, which we don't try to count episodes and stuff, we just do what we do.
We have a hard time counting.
Yeah, we skipped last week. Not a big deal. Probably skip next week too. We don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll be out of town, so we'll see what happens. We'll definitely do something before the end of the year, more likely. But we'll see what everybody's schedule's like because Mr. Cameo may be busy.
Yeah.
So, how you doing?
I'm better. Had a little weirdness going on with my body, but it happens about 2 or 3 times a year.
2 or 3 times a year. You just wear yourself down.
Pretty much.
That's all you're doing is wearing yourself down.
Yeah, it happens about 2 or 3 times. Not a big deal.
You got to pay attention. You got to focus. We're not young. We're not young anymore. We don't bounce back like we used to. No. I have come to that realization. Now, you're younger than me, but still, you're walking down the path. It'll hit you. And if it hadn't hit you yet, it's going to hit you in a couple of years.
Oh, it's hitting.
It finally hit me like, it hit me 3 years ago when I hit 44. Yeah. It just like, everybody says it's in their 30s.
Yeah, when you hit 30, it changes a little bit. You hit 40, it changes a little more.
Yeah, 40 for me didn't change a little more. I was still kind of running again, but that's when my body, I busted my bicep, and that's when I learned I needed to stop doing jiu-jitsu, arm wrestling, and bars, and that's when they were like, just play golf. Like, well, I already play golf, and I'm bored with that.
Yeah.
So how's it going? I mean, I saw you post something the other day, like you're stuck at you were like, yeah, we're doing good, but we're stuck at 2 million, blah blah blah.
Yeah, just stuck there. Poor me. Poor
you. Poor Jody. You got to figure out how to get over that hump, man. You got to do more. You got to get more production. You got to get more.
When I did the Kanye video about a month ago, that's when our views started tapering down. So don't mention Kanye.
You've been shadow banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok loves Kanye. The world hates Kanye, but TikTok loves Kanye.
All I said was I appreciate him.
You appreciate him?
I appreciate him because he's so focused on what he wants to do.
Yeah.
That he doesn't worry about anything else.
That was
he believes in himself that much.
That was before his whole anti-Semitic thing everybody's attacking him about now.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're probably getting shut up.
But when you believe that much in yourself, you gotta have some respect for him.
He does, but he's also very smart. But sometimes I've seen it. I've watched him. I'll give him credit. Credit's due. And but then you can kind of see where the intelligence, and then now the fame, the money, it's kind of pushed him out there to a whole different cliff of a level, and I think I saw him losing his mind, that whole Pete Davidson thing when he lost his mind and kind of went down that dark hole because, Pete, I'm like, he was just like, okay, I mean, he was showing he was human. He was like, he's human. He's going down a hole, but he's doing it publicly. He needs to pull back. Someone needs to, but of course, everybody's like, you can't tell him nothing. I'm like, of course not. He's worth billions. He's been told he's amazing. He's told he's a genius, and he is in some respects. I mean, but
that's my thing is I don't believe in what he says or does.
Right.
I just appreciate that he believes in himself that much.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got to believe in yourself, and when you're doing this thing and entertainment and anything that you're out there on your own doing, publicly, with a spotlight on you, trying to make money, trying to find, trying to do things that people like. You like it, you hope other people like it, and you hope other people love it, but you know, and there's a lot of times when they don't. And you got to be able to be pushed through that. You know, I had this exact same conversation with a buddy of mine last night. They called me after I did my show at Laughing Skull, and we were catching up, had talked, and he and I worked together. He was a superintendent for a builder I used to supply, and he and I became really good friends.
Mhm.
And we talk every now and then because he's connected to the same people I am in the film industry, and we catch up and we talk because he's still building houses. And we were talking about that last night. He's like, you know, you've got to believe in yourself. And you go, I'm just going to do it. And he's like, you know, for someone, and he was talking about me, he's like, somebody like you who's been done this 25, 30-year career, and they go, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
complete 180, you know, totally opposite, you know, 20 something years, what they say late, you know, too late almost. You know, and then he goes, but you're hard headed enough and you believe in yourself enough that you don't care.
You'll make it
You're
work.
doing it. You're going to
Yeah.
make it work. And he was kind of
Yeah.
saying last night, he goes, look at what you've done in 3 years. Cause we were just talking, cause a couple months ago, I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on. I can't make the pieces connect. I'm not
Yeah.
making the money. I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's like, this is drying up. This is, and so anyways, and we were talking about that, but he said that last night. He goes, you've got to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe yourself in the industry that we were in, which was, I was commission sales, had my own company and all that stuff. It's like, if you don't believe in yourself and get up there every day and go out and do it, you're not going to be able to do it. And a lot of people don't believe in themselves and don't believe. They just believe they just go, oh, poor me. Why does it happen to you? Why is this person doing this or getting this? But they don't understand what goes on.
Stuck.
Yeah, they get stuck, and you mentally get stuck, and you can't. And even when you're doing well and you don't realize it, you get stuck into a hole. And you got to have people say, hey, knucklehead, yeah, you may be on a low right now or in a little plateau, but look what you've done. And it's like, but then at the same time, you don't want to rest on those laurels and go, oh, look what I've done, and get stuck in, look what I've done, not where I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. There's a fine line.
And he's gone so far to so high. I mean, there's really nowhere else for him to go.
Yeah.
When you reach that kind of money and success, where do you go? Where do you go? The top is here. Like Dave Chappelle, like you can't go any higher. You can't go any higher.
But when me and you make a decision, it's $10,000, $20,000. He makes decisions and it's billions.
Yes, millions, and it's the same decisions. There's just different zeros.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I learned when I was selling back in the day, and I started selling in my 20s, and I was playing, you know, selling all these managing millions of dollars in sales and stuff. And it's just like, everybody's like, how do you do that? That would freak me out. I go, it's no different than you running a store that makes $500 a day. It doesn't matter. You're still looking at profit. You're still looking at loss. You're looking at cost. You're looking at everything. And maybe you may be, you know, looking at a cost that affects you 10 cents an item or 25 cents an item. I'm looking at a cost of $100 to $250 an item for my customers. So it's the same thing. If you just forget about what it is, I mean, you focus on it, but and don't worry about, oh, it's millions, and like the number freak you out.
Yeah. It goes back to mindset and believing in yourself.
Yeah, it's just numbers.
Yeah.
It's numbers in the end of the day. And numbers matter, because you can have a lot of numbers, or you can have no numbers in your bank account, and that sucks.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, especially now. I don't know why I've got my coffee over there. I'm drinking my coffee late this morning. Yeah, I didn't get out. I got up at 8, woke up at 8, but I didn't get out of bed about 9:30, almost 10 o'clock, because I was working on notes and things like that and reviewing some stuff. So I was laying there reading a bunch of stuff. I was like, oh crap, we got a podcast to do.
Thanks for remembering me.
No, I did. Of course I remember. I almost forgot to do it. I got into bed last night, and I was like, from doing the show, going through after talking to my buddy, and I was like, oh crap, I never sent Jody the link. I never set the link up. Hold on. 11:30 at night, I'm like, let me set the link up and send it to him so I don't forget in the morning.
Yeah, I got up this morning. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'll have it. Don't worry about me. I got it. Well, we're a day off too, and mentally, you know, we didn't do one last week, and then we're a day off, so it's like, I know it's Tuesday, you know, I know, but Tuesdays for me, I have a different cycle of things I do on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, but because I'm focused right now. And I've been so focused the last several weeks on booking shows for next year, just getting ahead and getting shows booked and what do I have, what do I not have, and getting stuff booked now because you can't wait. I mean, it's not that I'm behind the gun. It's like, I got to get ahead of this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So every day, like every Monday, every Tuesday, every morning, realistically, I get up and spend 3 hours emailing and calling people and clubs and bookers and things
Now, is there
like
like a platform with numbers and stuff?
What do
Or
you
you
mean?
just got to research?
What are you talking about? Research the shows?
Like if somebody was going to get into the industry, is there a platform with clubs and numbers?
No, negative ghost.
You just got to randomly search.
You got to do it all on your own.
Okay.
You got to do it all on your own. You got to figure out where the clubs are. You got to make connections at the club. You got to either go to the club, audition at the club, send the club stuff. And there's hundreds all over the country, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just didn't know with today's time with apps and stuff if somebody created.
Because they're all independently owned. But
Yeah.
some are national, and some are just local local owned, by just private owned, and a lot of them private owned. You got the Comedy Zone, which is owned by a group of guys, but they're national, and there's a lot of those all over. And then you've got a bunch of independent ones, that are just owned locally. So in order to get in those, you got to know that local guy or get to know them and get on their list or go out and see them and audition. Because the thing about bookers is, man, in some book by agents, some book by a group of comics that are represented, some group just independently, meaning they book who they want when they don't use agents or get involved with booking agents and stuff like that. So they book comedians either locally or nationally on their own. So they make their own decisions, and for a booker to make a decision on you who doesn't know you from Adam on a 5-minute video, and you're going, book me as a feature or headliner, and they're like, how do I risk my night of money on you and my reputation? So there's a game to it. There's a thing to it about selling yourself, not just selling yourself, marketing yourself, but getting a following and getting. That's why they could say asses and seats, and that's why a lot of clubs have gone to this. Well, if they've got millions of plus on TikTok or social media, it's a safer bet for them, they think. So they book them because they see all these videos, and then they book them, and then sometimes it wins, sometimes it fails.
Yeah.
And so it's always a gamble. But if they, they're like, I got to sell tickets. I got to put this many people in here. I got to sell this many drinks, and I got to have somebody to draw that in. And if you're a no-name nobody, they've got to believe in you enough that as long as I get a headliner that can pull in, then I can give Andy a chance to be a feature, even though I think he'll be a good. I don't know, but I'm going to give him a shot and then I got to show up and do my thing and be liked and whatever. And the thing about it now is that a lot of headliners travel with their own features. A lot of clubs don't provide features anymore. They'll provide a local host from their open mics or their local community. They know that's, funny in their local community.
Yeah.
And those guys will host, and then the headliner shows up with a feature, which makes it really hard for folks like myself, where I'm at a point now. I'm a feature. I'm booked as a feature.
Yeah.
I'm up and coming on the feature scene, but the problem is because most clubs are like, bring your own feature to headliners. You've got to get in with somebody or a headliner that likes you, that says, hey, come on the road with me. And that's literally how you get feature work now.
Yeah.
Some clubs still will book a feature here and there if a headliner doesn't, but that's even the harder part, because now you're standing out here, basically with your wiener in the wind, going,
what do I do?
Yeah, what do you do? So you've got to work around that. So yeah, so it's but I've been lucky recently. I just booked a bunch of shows. I booked some shows up in Pennsylvania, and then I got booked at the Bonkers Comedy Club, which is a national club, privately owned by a husband and wife. It's a Bonkers is very well known. They got a place in Vegas. They got places in casinos, Florida, all over the country. And I'm actually going to I'm featuring for a headliner at one of their casino clubs in March, and which is great. But I got that gig because the headliner, he had booked me on 2 of his shows to do a feature on his shows, and says, "Hey, they called me to headline. Do you want to come up early and feature for me at Bonkers?" I was like, "Yeah," because they said, "Bring your own feature."
Yeah.
They told him, they're like, and they were booking him as the headliner, and they go, "You need to bring your own feature." So that's where clubs have gotten now. It's like, when they book these headliners, like, you need to bring your own feature. We don't, and it's one less thing they have to deal with. One less thing they have to, because a feature, if they put the wrong feature up there in front of the headliner gets pissed. Headliner wanted a clean guy, he gets some blue guy, or he does this type of comedy. He does certain subject matters. They put a feature up there. The feature doesn't know the headliner from Adam, doesn't do his research, doesn't look, because I'm just going to be honest. I don't understand why comedians don't do this. I don't understand why a comedian, whether you got booked as a host or a feature at a club, and they tell you who you're going to be on that show with, that you don't go and watch their videos, that you don't go and see what type of, or go read their freaking bio and see what type of subject matter they do, so you can adjust, or at least have a plan A and plan B, so we can get the club go, "Hey, what do you want me to do and not do? I see you do this type of material. Here's what I typically do. What would you like for me to do?" Because you don't want to do the same stuff the headliner's going to do. He just steps all over his stuff.
Yeah, it's got to blend together. I mean, it's like when I was doing film work. I would do a day and then come home and research everybody, director, assistant director, who was in the film. Learn the whole rhythm.
Yeah. Well, at least you know names and faces with names.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way. And it's just it just but that's where I'm at. I'm at this little, I call it purgatory now. It's purgatory of comedy is what I call it now. A purgatory of entertainment. Because you've gotten to this point to be able to do this long amount of time. You're not a headliner yet. You can do headliner time. You could. You're just not a draw. You don't have enough audience and enough pull for a club to give you a headliner spot to sell seats. And nor am I going to put myself in that position, nor am I going to say book me as a headliner. Now, if you want me to close a show that you already know you're selling tickets to, that's like a feature show. Yeah. Okay, cool. No big deal. I can handle that. I can do that. But like, hey, come see Andy. Everybody's going, who the frick? Now you going, what? It's like, I'm not, no.
So for you, what is it going to take to break past that point?
Oh, I've got to go. I got to hit the road, which I'm doing next year. I've got to hit the road, which I started doing this year, what I'm doing next year, and create a following. Will social media help? Can it? Sure. If I put a bunch of good videos out there, but I don't want to put all my material out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to put all my material out there. That's the thing for me. I mean, I'll put some, but I don't want to put a lot, and especially in the very beginning. But now I'm probably at a point I'll probably start putting a little bit more out there.
Some of the older stuff.
Yeah, and and things like that. So what it's going to take now, is getting to a position where I build a reputation in the community, which I have, and I still am, and just bigger and better, and like with where clubs and bookers are more comfortable, and the word gets out, and you can have which I'm at that point with some references. When I send stuff out, I'm like, here's some references. Here's who's booking me. Here's the clubs. Here's the bookers. You can call them. You can talk to them, and go from there. And they'll say, yeah, he's a good feature. Yeah, he's strong to be able to do whatever you're doing. So that's the point, You know, like I said, I call it purgatory because you're like, man, I've worked out all this material. I can do 30 minutes plus. I can hold my own. I can do whatever I need to be done. Whether it's a private gig, club, whatever, I can get in there and swing, and and hand the show off and not, look like a fool,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and do a good job and be a good asset to the show. I can be a great asset to the show. And then you're like, but nobody's hiring for that because they've stopped hiring for that because that position is now being filled by the headliner, and the headliner is bringing guys he's seen and like several big comedians I know that I've opened for and hosted for, at the comedy clubs. These guys have 3 or 4 guys in their rotation. They'll
Yeah.
keep 3 or 4 guys and they'll call to come feature for them when they do their gigs. And it's a matter of getting funny enough and funnier to the point they trust you. And you got to get in one of those like circles where they know you, they're watching you, and then you get good enough to where one of their guys graduates out of that and then they need another feature. So you get into that headliners. So now it's not so much you're getting in with the clubs. You got to get in with the freaking headliners. You got to get them to trust. You got to get their trust, them liking you, them liking your stuff to be
Hold
able
up a ball game.
to go on tour to do clubs. Yeah. So it's like, okay. So it's even harder because before you just go to the club, hey, let me do an open mic. Okay. Let me host. Okay. And typically that's where people got feature work. You would host shows for the weekend, making $25-$50 a show, whatever, in hopes that you did a good enough job that the club owner goes, okay, we're going to bring you back as a host and we'll look at you as some feature and booking you as a feature. And then they would book you as a feature, see how you do. If you do well, then there you go. That's how it used to go. It's not how it goes anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
It's crazy how stuff has changed.
Dude, it's crazy. It's great. But that's the change. The good thing is the gatekeepers are gone. It's wide open.
Yeah.
It's wide open because you got all these venues, you got all these avenues, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, to get a following, to get whatever.
Yeah.
Draw a number of following people follow you to possibly put asses in seats. And so that helps. My problem is I don't have a huge following on social media. But at the same time, there's no gatekeepers, meaning there used to be a set of gatekeepers. Like you couldn't get in clubs that were certain. Like it was hard. It was hard back in the day. Like I used to hear nightmare stories, and I watched guys like just, I mean, it was crazy. But that's kind of over. So it's a little bit more open, but harder. More open, but harder, but easy. But it's hard to explain.
So if a lot of them are going by the followers.
Oh
if they're going by followers,
that happens. Go ahead.
What keeps them from these people just buying followers?
Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of them have figured that out, and they'll go look and see if you have true organic interaction and how you interact.
Yeah.
And that's usually like festivals, like JFL and things like that. Some of the bigger festivals will go look at social media and see if you got bots or bought bots. And there's a way to look at that now. And I've been told it's like, hey, there's a way to see if you bought bots or not. So that's kind of being curved out because these generations that are younger than us are way smarter and because they grew up with computers and everything. They grew up with us. And now those guys are kind of in the driver's seat a little bit at these clubs and like, oh, he bought a bunch of bots. He bought followers. Yeah. And so someone got caught. So I think it was about a year ago. Somebody brought that up. We were sitting there. They were like, yeah, they got caught buying followers and it wasn't true organic and they got called out on it. And and they didn't get into whatever it was. And I was like, really? They're like, yeah, there's a way to tell that now and see. In some of the clubs, and they're hiring these younger guys and kids that can figure that stuff out or get that know that stuff. And like, okay, go check his social, see his followers. Is his followers actually have people? Because now they figured out, oh, they just had a bunch of bots. We booked them. Nobody showed up. Why did nobody show up when you've got 10 million followers?
Yeah.
You got 10 million followers. I should have a full freaking house.
Yeah, exactly.
And because I've booked guys I've booked guys with 2, 3, 4 million, and I've packed this place out. And then they go and look and they realize it's not organic.
Yeah.
So that has become a thing. So, and that kind of came to light about a year ago. Hey, what's up, Moogie? Moogie G, what's up, buddy? Good morning to you. Yeah, that's right. He's on vacation, living the teacher life. He's on vacation, living the teacher life. Lucky. But yeah, no, but that has come up. So yeah, because I looked at that, so I was like, I might go, and then I'm like, no, don't. You got a true organic, like you have a true organic interaction, and you can go and see you have true organic interaction. People are commenting, people are following, people are doing things.
Yeah.
So Mookie says, I got 7 good followers. I have -7, sir. I have -7. So you're doing 14 better than me. Okay. Yes, I can do math. Bam. So anyways, so that, if that answers that. So no, don't go be buying a bunch of, I still don't understand. I understand where it derived from and how it was beneficial, but everybody's gotten smart about that.
Well, the thing is now, if you can actually trace it,
you can trace it. You can figure it out.
Then there's no point in it.
You can go on somebody, and if they've got like 3 comments or 2 or like 10 million followers,
yeah,
you can figure it out real quick. So, anyways, but my whole thing for the last couple of years is working on my bits, how I write, how I deliver, my performance, so that when I do get up there and swing and I do get those opportunities, I'm successful.
Yeah, you're ready.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I can work on the other stuff once I get this down, and so that's but that's always in the works. It's just what you got to do. So, anyways, that's that. Sweet. But I've got a bunch of dates coming up. I've got close to 52 possibly book shows. Well, I've got 52 dates. I have 8 solid book shows, 100% going through. I have over 32 to 40 that I have the dates. They are shows. I have the cities. It's going to be based upon ticket sales, whether they happen or not. So that's what happens with this, because the ones I'm talking about are part of a tour that I'm not in control of. I'm just a part of it. I'm a headliner on it with 2 other guys, with 2 other headliners. And so we're going to be doing theaters. It's a presidential campaign I told you about, thing that we're doing comedy with political stuff across the country. Now, we've got all these shows. We've got all these dates. We do have a university its own that I'm going to be performing at, I think, Minnesota University. That's happening. That's a 100%, I was told, happening no matter what. And we're doing other universities. But I got a bunch of dates that are at clubs and different venues that if they don't sell a certain number of tickets by a certain date, they'll pull the show.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say I've got them, but I don't, because I don't know if all of them will go through or if we'll lose 10% or 5% or 50%. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that we'll probably close in 25, 30, maybe 40%. I don't know. Okay, again, I'm just riding to figure this thing out with everybody because it's based on ticket sales.
Yeah.
And I'm not in control of the ticket sales, realistically. I mean, I am. You can buy tickets through my website, but they're all over the country in the Midwest. They're not in Georgia. None of these dates are in Georgia. None of these dates are in Georgia. They're all across the Midwest and places. I mean, I've got some people I know there, but not enough to put 150 feet. That goes back.
So you need some idiot that's on TikTok to blast the dates.
Pretty much. Once we get closer and figuring them out. Again, I was sent the list. I go, these are tentative. Yep. They could adjust or change based upon the venue. They will happen, but understand if we don't sell 75% of the capacity, they'll pull them. So I'm like, okay. So after January, after Christmas, we're gonna really push everything because all the dates are February through July for right now. For
Just let me know.
for the first round, for the first leg of the tour.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, Karen, hey, Karen, this is so cool. Can't wait to see the calendar for next year. Yep, I've got it. I've got the calendar. I'm slowly releasing. I'm going to release the 7-8 shows, the ones with Bonkers and the ones I've got coming up in January and February that are not part of that other tour. So yeah, I know this guy too. That could help you. Jeez. So anyway, so that's what we're working on, working our asses off to make this thing happen, make 2023 the best year so far, and then just keep it going. So that's what we're doing.
Yep. Do you have a year where it's gonna be make or break?
What do you mean make or break? I mean, make or break.
Yeah.
I feel like I had that this past year. This past year was kind of like, well, I don't know. I've had that. I look at make or break every day. I look at make or break every day, and I've done that my whole life in sales because I've been a commission, like we talked. I've been in commission sales my whole life.
Yeah.
In the building industry, and the building industry is very tough, if not tougher than the comedy industry, or as tough. And I can go through comparisons, and I could talk 2 hours about it and compare it all down. But for what we're talking about now, for the quick part, is that every day's make or break. There's days you're not going to sell anything or make any money. And it's about making contacts and doing stuff towards things becoming sales. So whatever we do today or whatever connections or calls I make today, like I may call 4 bookers, 8 clubs, send 15 avails, do this, do that. Nothing may come of it today.
Yeah.
Something 4 days down the road or next week, those people that I've been consistently talking to will remember me. And if I keep a constant touch, check in, what's going on? Hey, Andy, you've been sending me stuff. Here's your chance. I've got a spot here. Can you fill it?
Here's your chance. Stop bothering me.
Yeah, maybe 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Again, yeah. So when you say make or break, I mean, I'm not a make or break thing. Like, oh, I've got to walk away from comedy. Me and my wife have already had that conversation. It's like, no, this is what you're doing. You're going to do it up until a point. If you're in it in 10 years and you haven't made any money, you can't, make, 40, 50,000 a year or 30,000 a year. We just got to throw numbers around.
Yeah.
Then get the hell out.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But she knows it's my dream. She knows I'm not going to fail. She knows I'm too stubborn and hard-headed not to figure something out. So
something out.
And you don't know. It's about the ride. It's about the ride too.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been very fortunate, very, very fortunate so far. There was a point back in August where I was like, I couldn't connect the dots, and I started talking to people, and then sat around with some folks that been in the business longer than I have. I'm like, I'm not connecting what I know to this side, and can you help me out with that? And they were like, yeah. And they sat down and thought, it was like, I think this is the only thing you're doing. Go try to do this, adjust this, and this, because it is different than what you're used to. And I'm like, okay. So I did that, and so far it's kind of clicking. It's working, but it's.
But that's hard to find now.
But it is.
That's hard to find somebody that's going to help.
It is, but I am out there every day hunting for opportunities. Anytime somebody says they like anytime anybody says, hey man, we got an opportunity out here, and then people are like, that's 10 hours away. I'm like, yeah. So
yeah,
it's an opportunity because I'm not getting that opportunity here.
Yeah.
So I do the math, and we go. And we negotiate, and we go. And that's a lot of this stuff. Sometimes people don't get out of their own comfort zone, because sometimes you've got to be able to not make money on a show.
Yeah.
Break even maybe with your gas, or maybe invest a little bit in yourself. And that's what a lot of people don't do.
And there's a lot of just last minute jumping.
Sometimes it is last minute jumping. And that's the whole thing in this thing. Sometimes that as well as I do.
Yeah.
It's last minute jumping. It's like, hey, we got this. Can you be there? Well, okay. And you do that, you get it, you save them, and that's thing, you're getting more stuff. So, anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know how we got down this rabbit hole for so long, Jody. Jody, what have we got going on these days? We talked about that. Jody's got cameos, and he's stuck at 2.1 million people. Poor Jody.
I know. It's horrible.
What else you got coming up? What do you got going on? What else? I mean,
we've been working with a couple brands, doing some odd and end stuff, trying to work some deals. We did a Verizon and Pizza Hut. I sold my sound bites to them.
The what? The Pizza Hut?
Yeah, Verizon and Pizza Hut.
Which ones?
The next chapter one that I did.
The next chapter one.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
It's when they were doing the Reese PC stuff.
Yeah.
And I sat there and said, "Hey, let's go to the next chapter." And
okay. I think that wasn't the one, but that's not the one that everybody really.
There's two. There's that one and the Reese PC.
Right, the Reese PC one is the one everybody kind of took off with, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't sell that.
No.
Okay.
We sold the next chapter.
So next chapter.
Yeah. So, but now we've been trying to work with some different brands and get in with some people who work with brands. Yeah. That way I can make a little money.
There you go. So they bought the next chapter. What did Pizza Hut buy?
Same thing.
They just bought
the soundbite.
So you sold the same soundbite to both of them?
Yeah.
How can you do that? I thought if they bought the soundbite, they own the soundbite, but then okay, okay, explain that, because how did you sell the same soundbite to two companies?
Because they just want to use it. They're not actually buying the soundbite.
Okay, they just want to use it for
They're just using it.
Certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Or did they so they didn't buy it in perpetuity. They just bought it for, we want to use it
for the moment of making it successful for them.
Okay. Well, that's good that you didn't sell it totally away.
Yeah.
Then again, I don't know that you can do that because you're selling your voice realistically, but it's voiceover work realistically, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
pretty much.
I mean, but they can buy that phrase in perpetuity that you can never say it again, like the variety, like the can you hear me now? That guy supposedly can't say that phrase, and he was locked down, and like he can't say that phrase, or something like that.
Mean, if they want to pay me enough money, have at it.
Oh, that dude did the commercial and made $350 million or some stupid amount of money over the years.
Yeah, and that's what I've told when I dealt with Verizon and Pizza Hut. I'm like, look, if you want something specific, let me know. We'll make it work.
Well, I think they want well, see, here's the thing about advertising now. We're out there doing stuff, or you're out there doing stuff. We're all out there doing stuff on TikTok and social media, and they're just sitting back waiting to see what grabs and goes, and they go, okay, now let's go get this and slap it together with our product, and they'll go rah.
Yeah.
So they don't have to create anymore. We're everybody's doing the creating for them for free. Well, I mean, you're getting paid, but you're just saying stuff.
Yeah.
Just like what I say on stage. I'm just saying stuff that I write and create. And then but now they don't have to have a creative team. They just sit back and see what's hot on TikTok or social media and go, oh, then let's use this for a commercial now. And
then they pay a couple $100 and there they go. They done save thousands.
Oh, they've saved, ridiculously thousands, if not millions. Because they used to spend millions on commercials and figuring out the funny and the writing and all that stuff. Now, now it's become easier for them to do that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's not crazy. It's smart.
Yeah,
it's smart, and they've kind of been doing that. But I mean, that's cool. That's good. What so those only two. So
we're
Pizza Hut and
Verizon. We did we're doing some more Morgan and Morgan law firm stuff. Some more Feet Finder.
Oh yeah, Feet Finder. I got to talk to them. They called me.
Yeah.
Well, they reached out to me. I did.
Yeah.
I mean, and I messaged them just jokingly, and they emailed me back, and they said you need to email this person. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I meant to do that. I'm going to do that when we get done here, because
Yeah.
that's that thing. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I went on there and looked, and I was like, this is crazy.
Well, I did the one thinking it was one done over with. All of a sudden, last night I got an email. Hey, here's the next step for the next video. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to try to get him on the podcast. I was going to try to get him to sponsor a podcast and come on and talk about it. And they're interested, apparently.
Yeah.
So let's not give too much away before we do that. Let me work that out.
Yeah. That'll work.
Because it'll be good. It'll be a good episode, dude. That'd be.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing, it's so funny. Because I went in and looked at it, I was like, this is real.
And people are paying.
I gotta.
They got subscription programs.
I know. I saw that. It's subscription. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is. I would have never thought. I mean, there's weird stuff, and people have weird likes in this world, and that's fine. That's being human, and I don't disregard. As long as you don't hurt children or hurt people, I don't care. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, or involve children or whatever. I don't care realistically,
Yeah.
You know, and they don't, but I'm just like, I would never thought, you know, we joke about OnlyFans and stuff, but then I'm like, wait, this is a whole company that's by itself. This is their this is all they do.
Yeah. But it's like, could you imagine this in the 70s and 80s?
No.
All this stuff was secrets up.
No.
It was all secret or behind doors.
Yeah, it was all like, you know,
now
weird,
it's just here.
You know, now it's all in the open. Now it's like everything's in the open. And I think that's and some things don't need to be so in the open, but that's where we're at with the internet. That's been a little bit of the downfall of society a little bit and where we're at. And I believe, you know, it's not everything needs to be accessible to all people. But then again, that goes to parenting and things like that.
Yes.
So we won't go down that rabbit hole.
Yep.
But it goes down to parenting, and we have Liz has, my wife has restrictions on my stepdaughter stuff, very, very tight, and she's 15, and we're not going to let go. And I said, don't. I said, I said, you know, I dread having a kid. You know, we talked about, you know, we're not going to have kids because we're at the point. She's the last one that's in high school. Mine are grown and gone, and it's like I'm scared to death to have, you know, the access. You've got to like, but it's about being parenting. But you know, we've got time limits on her stuff. We've got, you can't have this app, whatever app we do allow her to have. She has access and can see what she's doing. She's got lockdown. She can't, you know, because, oh, dude, it's so funny. Did I tell you this? Did I talk about this a couple of weeks ago when we went and saw Ty Rivera, comedian Ty Rivera? Okay. Ty Rivera is a very funny comedian. If you haven't seen him, don't know who he is, look him up. He's been doing comedy for over 10 plus, almost 20 years. He's very, very funny guy. Gabriel Iglesias said he was going to be the next big, and he's funny, very funny. And he was headlining here in Atlanta. Got to go hang out. We got talking. Met him. I think he's going to come on the podcast. Very funny dude.
Cool. So
we went, and he talks a lot about, he talks about trans and this and that. He's openly like, I'm gay, but you know, and he brings out a lot of funny things that people are like, this is ridiculous, you know. And so, but one of the things he's talking about this. So he goes, and I'm on Twitter to watch porn. And my wife was, and half the audience like went, what?
Yeah.
Porn on Twitter? My wife was like, what? There's naked people on Twitter? I go, oh yeah. I was like, it's bad. Like, there's certain words you don't want to search on there.
Yeah.
She's like, what? She's like, what? So he stops and he hears like this, and he's like, y'all didn't know this? And he starts laughing about it. because there's like not just my wife, there's her friend, there's some other people. They're like, what? And now she's freaking out, and they're like going on there. I was like, well, at least our daughter doesn't have to. So our friend's like, "Is your daughter?" She's like, "Yes, but now I gotta go on there and see what." I mean, I'm like, where did you think? They go, we just thought people tweeted stupid stuff politically and said stupid stuff. We didn't realize there's a whole dark hole of Twitter.
There's a back door to all of it.
The back door. Dude. And I was dying. Dying. And then he goes, well, I guess we learned a lot tonight. Y'all learned that Twitter has porn. And it was hilarious. I was falling out. I was like, I can't believe. And then the rest of the night, I mean, for like several days, my wife's like, I cannot believe that. I was like, yes, it's there. I was like, but you got to go in and unlock it. I said, it's not just unlocked. You got to unlock and open your settings to be able to search all things. I said, but you can type it in. All the stuff will come up, but the videos, you won't be able to access the videos. But there's a 4-step process through the settings. If you unlock now, you can have access. So you can't just let our have free access, which you wouldn't anyways.
Yeah.
But it just goes back to show that a lot of people just let their kids have a social media or Twitter and don't realize that they can go in and unlock and then have open.
How many kids have you seen 6, 7, 8 walking around with phones?
Do they have iPads from the time they're freaking in a stroller? Yeah,
and that stuff's on there.
So, I mean, they have more followers than I do. Okay, let me just tell you that. There are 2 and 4-year-olds that have more followers than I do.
Yep.
And they know how to do stuff. I'm like, what the? And I just see them. They're just holding these little iPads around, and they're going like this, list, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And you remember when we first got them?
Yeah, I mean,
when we first got them, it was like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah. Well, nobody.
Now, like you said, they're just going.
Nobody knew what we were doing. Nobody knew really what it was. We didn't really grasp. We've been learning as we've been going, you know.
Yeah.
It's coming in this thing, and people are questioning now. It's like, what have we really created here? Because we've allowed access to we never really they've started honing in restrictive things and restrictive abilities. But realistically, unless the parent goes in there and does it, and controls it, it's
wide open.
It's wide open.
Yep.
Real wide open, which but anyways. So, well, it's Christmas. Let's talk a little bit about Christmas stuff. Favorite Christmas movie? Go.
Favorite Christmas movie? Oh man.
I think you said this before. Did we talk about this before? No. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
I like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
The claymation one, the cartoon claymation.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, just the old claymation.
Yep.
Original classic.
Mm-hmm. This is a movie, not a TV show. That's a TV show.
Yeah.
I'll give you that on TV show. What's about a movie? Movie. Which means it's got to be at least an hour or hour and a half long.
I don't really know.
And it was originally was in a movie theater, or you had to rent it. That's the guidelines. There you go. That make it easier for you.
No.
God dang it. I got a list.
I like all the classic stuff.
I got a list, dude. I got a list. You want to do comedy? You want to do action? What do you want to do? What do you want?
Let's do comedy.
What do you want? Comedy?
Yeah, do comedy.
Comedy? Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, that's good.
Hands down, the #1 comedy Christmas movie of all time. All time, period. I don't care who you are, what you are. We will fight. We will fight. My favorite Christmas movie is Jingle All the Way. It's because Mookie was in it. He was Sinbad. Mookie is Sinbad. He knows this. Jingle All the Way was good.
Yeah.
No, Mookie. No, that's not that one. Was that Jingle All the Way, or was that? It was the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in which Sinbad was in it. Sinbad just always reminds me of Mookie, just the way he talks and laughs. It's hilarious.
I never thought of that.
Oh yeah, Mookie's hilarious. I love Mookie. He knows. You know. You know. You know. See, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I knew I was right.
Yeah.
I knew I was right. Yeah, but of course I love Die Hard too. Love Die Hard. Yeah, we'll fight. We'll fight. I'll fight you.
I still
Die
need to
Hard is
watch
a
it.
Christmas movie. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I told you about the ornament. I got kicked out of that crafting group.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's awesome, man. Yeah. My favorite is Christmas Vacation. It's probably the one of my, and then number 2 is like Die Hard. I love Christmas Story and all that. That's good and stuff, but that's a different category. But I love Christmas Vacation. They don't make movies like that anymore.
No.
They haven't figured out a way to make. And John Hughes was just a freaking genius the way he made movies and stuff like that. But and it's just comedy movies in general. I mean, they just don't. No one has. They've tried. They just haven't hit the mark, and they keep missing. I mean,
well, they're putting too much in social media now. Like before, we didn't have all the social media.
That's right, Mookie. Die Hard is a great movie. Thank you, Mookie. Die Hard is a great movie. Yeah, he commented. Anyways, what now?
But you got too much social media now that they're putting all this comedy on. So just true organic comedy ain't funny no more.
I say no. I say we just nobody is. I disagree to a point with that statement, and the reason is I don't think they're trying it hard enough or there's enough originality. Because I mean you've heard it. I've told the story on here where I was doing that TV show I can't talk about that hadn't come out yet that I was on. That a producer guy was like, hey, whatever you got, whatever you're writing, if you write outside of comedy, if you write stories and scripts, you need to get it moving in someone's hands because we are dying for stuff. People are writing, but you know, I don't know what I think a lot of it is. And Quentin Tarantino said this in an interview here not too long ago on Two Bears One Cave. You know, it's like the writing in Marvel. Everybody's gotten to this Marvel mentality thing that Marvel's taken over, but the Marvel writing isn't movie writing; it's comic books and stuff, which is great. Comic books are great. A lot of those movies are great. They've come to life. They've brought comic books to life in a way we've never thought of. Big comic nerds like myself love it, but it's like that's the only thing ruling the movie theaters. True, organic, good movies and writing is not ruling. You know, and not to talk about like Quentin Tarantino, like Pulp Fiction and things like that, which but there's just nobody creating good organic movies and storylines and things, just, you know, and taking something like Christmas and then twisting it into like a Christmas Vacation where it's just funny after funny. There's truth. It's like stand-up comedy. It's probably one of the best things because it's stand-up comedy in a movie form.
Yeah.
All these things are true. We've all experienced these aunts and uncles that you know, get on our nerves and shit goes wrong and we do it and we try to deal with it the best we can and then we do it and it goes sideways again and that's life.
Yeah.
And you can repeat that, but don't copy it verbatim, but you can do different things. And it's hard sometimes. And I know it's hard because I can't do it. Because if we all could do it, we'd be all a lot better and wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
And yes, they are remaking everything. But the reason why they're remaking everything, and a guy on a friend of mine who's an assistant director, he said they'll keep making it because it keeps making money. And people will go see it just to see how bad it is.
Yeah, just to compare it.
And the movie industry will make money. And we'll keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, why? And it's like, because it makes money. He goes, it makes money. Why not?
But
even if people hate it, it will make money.
Yeah. But are people not living now?
No. What do you mean live? Well,
just living in general, living like mindset, going out, doing stuff.
No.
Like they're not doing that, so there's no creativity coming from it.
That is somewhat true. I think that yeah. I mean, everybody has been we have become a more sedentary society. No, people
Yeah.
aren't going out and doing things and living and experiencing things. And somebody brought that up to me here just not too long ago. We had this conversation a couple weeks ago, and we were talking, and I was like, man, I think I started comedy too late. I'm having some great say. I don't know where it's going to go. He goes, you started at the perfect time. I was like, what? They go, you have more life experience and more stuff to write about than any of these other folks in their 20s.
Yeah.
These guys have nothing. And he goes, look, I've been doing comedy 20-something years. He goes, my first 10 years, I had nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
It took me 10 years to get enough stuff to start talking about stuff to be funny. My second 10 years to have a career. And then he was like, you make a point. He goes, you've got to have experience and stuff and live life and do things to be able to talk about things to connect with people. And if not, and you've done nothing but go to school and come home, and you can talk about those things. But if you don't have enough of life experience to pull from, you won't have enough material. And then all you're doing is stealing ideas and things from people that doesn't resonate. So yeah, I mean, people, you've got to, and now, people don't experience things as much. And if they do go out, they're out for a limited time. They come out, they go, we live behind a lens of a phone and a computer.
Yeah. We need cheap gas and a station wagon.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
See, that's what you need to do.
Dude, I want an RV so bad.
No. You need to get you a station wagon.
Mm-hmm.
You need to put Sugar Hooker Express on it.
Boom.
And use it as your tour bus.
Well, I have said this to my wife. I said, look, when Riley gets out of high school, and I've already told us I want to go ahead and buy now. I want to get an RV right now. I want to get an RV. And then we're going to travel the country. And I'm going to hopefully book shows across the country like I'm doing now. And then instead of driving there and driving back or a hotel, we just stay there. And then we go to the next place. And then we go to the next place. And we go to the next place. And then I said, no, we'll buy a condo or a small house somewhere. Let's get rid of the big house. We won't need it. It's just two of us. And travel. And do shows. I said, that's literally what I want to do.
That'd be awesome.
That's literally what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, let's go ahead and buy the RV in the next year or two. Or 3 and start using it and figure it out. Cause we may need something, may need a different one, figure out, cause when you buy I grew up camping. So when you buy one, you figure out what you need and what you don't. And then you have to go to adjust or add to it or whatever, but that's what I want to do. That's literally what I want to do.
That's living.
She can work from anywhere. Cause she works remote. And and if she has to go somewhere, all I got to do is take her to an airport, drop her off, and she goes wherever to go, whatever state she's got to go to. And I said, well, whatever state you got to go to, I can drop you off at the airport. You go there.
Yeah.
I'll work my way there and pick you up and hopefully have a show there or along the way, or, or you fly to another, we've got it all figured out.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of doing it now. I told her, I was like, that this is because I'm driving to like Illinois now. I'm driving to Ohio. I'm going to be driving to all these places all over the country. And it's like, why not have a freaking RV, man?
Well, the prices of motels now, it's going to equal out.
It equals out.
Yeah.
You almost make money. You can make money, except for the way gas prices are.
Yeah.
That's what you got to really look at. But in the end, you have all your stuff. Your stuff's there. Yep. You don't have to pack, unpack, deal with flying, canceled flights, all that. Now, you would have to worry about being snowed in somewhere and stuff like that. But it's like I told her, like during the winter, you just pick certain places and, things like that. I mean, it's just so much easier. I grew up
travel, see the country.
Oh, yeah. See the country. Plus, she wants to do all the national parks. She collects getting a stamp from all the national parks and visiting all the national parks. So she's like, and I was like, we can knock that out in a year.
Yeah.
And and do that. And do Hank Aziz does that. He has an RV and he travels the country and does that.
Yeah.
And I told her,
and if you can do it, it's got to be a blast.
Oh yeah. Because you can do it to where you're like, well, I want to be in this part of the country, this part of the year. Hopefully, if you can work it out that way, and then stay over here. So yeah. That's what we're. That's exactly what the plan. That's what my plan is. I told her, I said, this is my plan. That's my plan. Because I don't want to live in a hotel room all the time and fly this, fly that, or drive 12 hours. And I was like, I'd rather drive 12 hours and have an RV, do a show, sleep there, and then go, let's go here.
I'd rather bring my roaches with me than stay somebody with their roaches.
I love my own bed bugs.
Yeah, exactly.
They all have names.
Yep.
Cares to hitch a food truck on the back of the RV. Oh, I can put a smoker on the back and hook it up to well, I'll have to tow a small car behind it. But anyways, but no, it's very affordable to do that too.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to do. But anyways, so how? Oh, is the pony? Is the pony still good?
Pony's good. Oh, and we bought a Great Dane.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I bought a Great Dane.
How did you get a Great Dane? You already have a pony.
I just wanted a Great Dane. I've always wanted one.
Oh, really? I love Great Danes. They're very good, very sweet dogs.
Yeah.
But
does nothing but just cuddle up and
they're cool. Huge. They're massive. They don't know their own size. They have hip problems and cancer issues down the road. It's the very sad thing I've seen them go through. That's the only thing that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But I
just got to order my saddle.
Yeah, you need to order your saddle.
Yeah.
You need to put the Great Dane in the how big is the Great? Is it a puppy?
Yeah, it's 9 weeks old.
Okay. When it gets full size or stops growing, put it beside the pony. I bet it'll be the same size as the pony.
Probably. Yeah.
Be the same size as the pony. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Down on the farm with Jody. Moogie wants to know how many animals do you have? Yeah, how many? You got a bunch. I've lost count, dude.
Too many.
I've lost count. You got chickens.
We've got chickens and guineas and turkeys and horses and donkey and goats.
Goats. I love goats. I love yelling at a goat and just watch them.
Yeah. Just look at you like, what are you doing?
Dude, there was one that passed out. There was one that was standing on this porch, and this lady goes, and it goes like this, and then it freezes, and then it falls down the stairs, frozen. I think she thought it was just gonna fall over on the flat part, but it went, and then it went like down 8 stairs. Probably one of the funniest videos I've seen so far. I was like, this is hilarious. I feel so bad for that goat. That goat got its ass beat by the stairs.
Yeah. And then they wake up and they look at you like, what are you looking at?
What? Oh, that's so awesome. All right. Well, that's it for the Christmas podcast. We didn't really talk a lot about Christmas, talked about everything else, but we're having a good time. We got a whole bunch of stuff next year. I think we're going to try to squeeze one in before New Year's. I'll be back. I'll be here for New Year's, and I don't go anywhere. Maybe we'll do an early New Year's Eve show that morning. I don't know. And because I'll be out of town the 26th through the 29th, but I'll be back on the 29th. 30th tomorrow, I'm going to Birmingham. Then I'll be in New York Thursday. And then we'll be back here. So we'll try to do a New Year's kickoff or close out. See if Jody can sell some more things.
Some more feet pics.
Some more what?
So sell some more feet pics.
Oh, you said that so fast. I thought you said something else. You said that. I was like, what did you just say? Yeah, feet pics. Yeah, we got to talk to the feet people. I'm going to email her today when we get done with it. I'm going to email her today. Maybe that's what we can do for your New Year's. Maybe we can get them in here. See you, Moogie. See you, everybody. See you, Karen. Y'all been good. We'll talk to y'all later. We got a lot coming up. Hey, check out midgetmafiaog.usa. Hit me up, andygunnan.com. Sign up on my website to get show updates once I release the full list. I'm going to go ahead and release the 8 shows I got coming up that are solid. The other 32, I'll be releasing those as we get closer. Stick around, stay tuned, follow, like, share, give us 5 stars. Hey, thank y'all for those that have given us 5 stars. We got 12 5-star ratings on Apple Podcasts, and
that's awesome.
And we're getting more downloads every week. So thank you, everybody. We're working on some stuff to come up into the next year. That's going to be awesome. We gave you a little sample, maybe some feet people, some feet pics, some interesting stuff. Follow Jody's sound bites. I saw a naked woman doing Jody's sound bite. It creeped me out the other day on TikTok. It creeped me out.
Nice.
It was hilarious. She was fully naked except for an apron, but you could see everything. I'm like,
yeah.
Like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see you guys later. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever you celebrate. Have a good one. We will see you, and we will see you hopefully here before the end of the year. If not, hey, we'll be back at some point, I think.
Maybe.
No, we will. We'll be back. We're not going nowhere. I've made a commitment now. Not going anywhere. We're just going to keep growing this. So I'm too hard-headed and stubborn to quit now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. See ya, guys. See you, Jody.
See ya.
Holla.